What's up, people? What's up? How's it going? I hope you guys are all having a great day. As you can tell by the title of this video, this is going to be the corpse party discussion where, that series was pretty crazy, to be honest. Um, so we're going to get started. This is going to be kind of a more, what kind of video could you call this? I guess this is just going to be like, we're kind of like tying things off here and finishing it off. Um, so I was able to rewatch the ending, paying attention to what happened, and I remember pretty much every single thing what happened in the show. So I figured out what happened, and when I figured it out, I was like, "What? Okay, that makes sense then." I kind of thought about it in the back of my head, but I wasn't too sure if I was right, so I wasn't sure if I was going to mention it. But apparently, I had to go search the character's name. We're not lagging. Okay, we're not lagging. So, Satoshi, the guy, basically, who was part of the three group people there, with Noemi and that other chick, basically, Satoshi kind of screwed up because Noemi lost her paper. So, what he did was the girl that was the guy who was chasing his sister, saying that he was going to be her new brother, basically, uh, the guy who stabbed the other guy in the neck, that guy. We thought he was good for the first 5 seconds he was introduced, and then when he stabbed him, I thought he might have been on the good side, but apparently he's on the bad side. So, figuring that out, well, Satoshi took the paper of him when he died, pretty much like that, and somewhat like that. Yeah, it's that anyways. So he switched their. Basically, he gave her a way out, not knowing the risk of him going back or dying. So he lied to them, he took Yuka's. I think that's her name. It was Yuka, the guy was chasing. So he didn't know the risk. So obviously he saved her for the risk of him maybe coming alive or dying, which was noble of him. It was cool of him. But to be honest, I'm kind of sad he died, because he was a cool character. So basically, that's the ending. The ending was interesting, I'll be honest, and the show in general was definitely an interesting concept. There was a game apparently before that existed for a long time. Obviously, I didn't know about it. I only knew about the series like not too long ago when someone suggested me to watch it, basically. So it was definitely interesting. So the show in general, I mean, the ending, like I was discussing in the beginning, was definitely something that I was half expecting. Actually, I was pretty much expecting that, because I knew that the way they were ending it it kind of felt way too easy to a certain extent, because how the show was in darkness in the first, second, and third episode, even like a good proportion of the fourth episode. The way the ending was just like too innocent, kind of felt like there was going to be something else to it. And I already told you in the ending of the fourth episode that there could have been a bunch of possibilities. Maybe there was another ghost somewhere and how it would really screw them over. Or, I also predicted that there was a same possibility, especially when they mentioned the paper, that one of the people were going to get completely effed over in the ritual, basically. And that was Satoshi, obviously, because he took the risk. And when he said he took Yuka's paper, it took me a second to kind of register, like, okay, it might have been possible. But then when I rewatched it, because I was half paying attention the first time I was watching, but when I rewatched the ending, I was like paying attention that time. I didn't have the camera recording, so I was paying attention. I was like, okay, now everything makes sense. I understand why he died. But it was definitely a shocker. When they transported and there was only his arms, basically. So I was like, what the hell? Definitely crazy. um, I had a pun before for his death, but I kind of forgot what it was. I can't remember. But yeah, so that's the ending in a nutshell. Yeah, I mean it was pretty crazy. Um, One hell of a ride of us. This series was crazy. Um, I have to admit, if I were in their place, I don't know what I'd be doing. I think just for the fun of it, I'd be like playing drums on the desk. Like while someone's approaching me or ready to stab me, I'll be like, "Yo, what's up, bro?" I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll have like power over 9,000 kind of abilities and somehow destroy that person, but whatever. So, series in general, um, my discussions normally they're often reviews. The reason why I don't call them reviews is because reviews, there's stuff that's like well edited, has a lot of work into it, and considering discussions, I can just openly talk about it. I prefer discussions because reviews, it's a lot more on the professional side. You cut to the chase, unless you do like relaxed review kind of. You label your video as relaxed review. I prefer discussion because we get to talk about it, casually. And I'm sure I probably missed some things of the show. Some stuff. That's why some shows they have a really good rewatch value because you don't catch it the first time. It's definitely like that for most of the shows or anime. Is when it has good rewatch value, because maybe you didn't catch things the first time. I'm sure, especially people that have played the game, will catch on to some things a lot faster watching the anime than people that are just starting out the anime. So obviously there's that. Now, so the series in general was really interesting. I'm not gonna lie. Now, from a horror perspective, I found it to be pretty freaking good. And I've watched I haven't, recently I haven't watched that many movies, but I've watched a lot of horror movies. I've played a lot of horror games, and this was something that was in the top. It was probably, I won't say horrifying, probably horrifying, but I wasn't necessarily scared. I wasn't scared, but it was like horrifying. Like horrifying, like the disgusting, like gore and all that other stuff. It was good. It was good, definitely good. It reminded me of a game I played once when I was younger. I mentioned it, I think, briefly in the third episode and a bit in the fourth, or one of the two. Um, it was a game where, oh, now I remember. I forgot at the beginning. Is your car breaks down the middle of nowhere and there's a school nearby, and you go to see if there's anyone at the school, and yeah, I know it's stupid. Why would there be anyone at a school at midnight? It's true. Like, why would anyone be at a school at midnight? Because it's midnight during the game. So you go to the school and you go inside because you hear someone there. Um, and you go inside and you hear some whistling, and then next thing you know, you're trapped, and there's a bunch of crazy stuff going in. There's spirits, and there's people dying, and there's like a diary there, and you're trapped. You can't get out. At some point, you kind of get out, but the thing is, how it's made is there's the school, and outside the school, think of it as like a prison. Right outside the school, there's a big fence leading to the entrance. So there's a big fence, and let's just say, like, think of it as like a square inside a square. You know what I mean, guys? So it's a square, and then in total, you'd have to, like, if you want to get to the other square from the first square to the second square, like, if you can think of it as like math wise, you'd have to walk a good like maybe 400 meters in total to get to that fence. So that's quite a bit of a distance you have to walk. So at some point you kind of escape from the school, but you still have to get to the fence. At some point you get screwed over super badly, and the game just kind of like ends around there. I can't remember the name of the game, but it was really, really, really crazy. So this series kind of reminded me of that. During the third episode, I was like, oh, I remember this game I played when I was younger. But younger, I mean, like, I was like 2-3 years younger. So yeah, it was definitely the series. The concept was definitely there. It was interesting. It was amazingly done. It was definitely something that I don't want to watch again. No, it was good. Yeah, normally, this is actually the first anime where I felt like the soundtracks I have paid attention to them again, like some of the other stuff. I was more paying attention to the story in general than the actual soundtrack. Soundtrack was somewhat fitting. There wasn't that much that was playing in the background except for like the creepy voices, the laughing, and obviously the characters' voices. It was kind of quiet, mostly in the background, in my opinion. Yeah, so that goes for the soundtrack part, and obviously watching the first episode definitely was a crazy way to introduce us to the series, especially in the beginning. How like the beginning I found really interesting, where dang, I can't remember. I think it was Noemi. Yeah, it was Noemi if I remember correctly, where we see her waking up and she has her paper, and it goes to the flashback of everyone at the school, doing the ritual, and yeah, so it's that. Obviously, then we go back into the actual present time where everything's going bad, people are dying, and then in the beginning of the second episode, obviously the first 5 seconds we have someone stabbing someone's eyeballs out and all that stuff. But I guess we can all blame it on that girl. The one. Frick, I don't remember her name either. Actually, I don't even know her name. It's the one who was kind of helping them, but she wasn't like. Oh my god! For you guys that have already watched this like a million times, somehow you know about it by heart. She was the one that the blogger. The blogger. There you go. I guess that's an easy way to point out the blogger. Like she kind of like dragged everyone into this. It was her fault. So yeah, that's definitely her fault. When he found out how to appease the ghost spirits, that was a good thing. That was definitely something that they had some kind of it gave them an advantage. And then there's Sachiko, going full crazy. Yeah, so I mean, definitely an interesting series. Trying to recap everything really. It was the setting was and the setting was definitely there. How they kind of like set the mood. Scary place. Definitely not somewhere I want to be. I don't. No way I want to be there. Or maybe I do. I don't know. But yeah, this is just a discussion video. Quickly done. Just talking about my opinion on the series. And to anyone that's watching this and you haven't watched the series, well, I should have said spoilers in the beginning. Maybe I'll put it like the beginning of the video or something. Spoiler alert. But definitely check out the series. Something you should watch at least once. If you do watch it though, one thing I suggest you do is don't eat anything or drink anything that's red, because you're gonna be like traumatized. Yeah, I don't know, something like that. But hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys in the next video, and all you guys take care. We're gonna see each other in maybe another series, maybe Ansatsu Shitsu, Legend of Korra, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I don't know whatever you guys are watching, but whichever series you're watching, see you guys in the next